Hi guys, this is Akhlaq Hamid. Welcome back to my channel once again. Now guys, I know it has been a bit of some time since I've last done a video. I do apologize, I've been very busy lately. And as many of you know, I am running a second YouTube channel. Nothing to do with photography, but it is a walkthrough channel. So if you are interested in following that channel, it's called West Yorkshire Walkthrough. West Yorkshire Traveller, sorry. I'll put a link in the bottom of the description so you can all have a look if you want to join that. If you want to subscribe, it will help me a lot. But yeah, guys, so as it's been a few weeks, I'm going to just show you basically in this video how I normally color grade. Now, color grading is a very touchy technique, you know, people do it in different ways, but I'm going to show you in this video how I normally do this. So let's get stuck in, guys. So this is an image which I've taken here. It's been about about a year since I've taken this image, so I'm just going to basically show you how this works. Now if you go into the adjustments panel here and then click on selective color. Now, selective color is very interesting how all this works. Now, if you move these sliders, let me just show you guys. Now, a lot of people just tend to move these sliders, you know, they just want to make the photo look good. They don't actually understand the logic behind these sliders, but they're just doing it anyway, just to, like, you know, as long as the image is looking good. That's all they want. But in order to make your image look good in color grading, you have to understand the logic. So let me explain this logic now. If you just study this image here, now basically what's that? I mean, it's best if you actually revise this. You know, without looking, because it is very useful. So basically the cyan, we've got the four sliders. So we got the cyan, magenta, yellow, blacks. Now the logic to understand is this: basically the opposite to cyan is red, opposite magenta is green, opposite yellow is blue, opposite black is white. Now, just as long as you understand this logic here, then believe me when I say this, your color grading technique is just going to get easier and easier. So I would strongly recommend, you know, you revise this. I will try and maybe sort of like put a link if I can find this, but just keep this image in mind because it's going to come in very useful. So basically here you can see here cyan, magenta, yellow, black. So it's basically the same slider as this. Now, if you look here, cyan, so we said that the opposite of cyan is red. Now, if you look close at this image, you can see this image is actually covered with the main colors is green, black, and maybe a bit of white on his t-shirt. But green, black and white, those are the main colors in this image. So we can actually replace these colors by using these sliders. So let me show you what I mean by that. Now if I go onto the channel here, if I turn this to green, now what did we say cyan was? The opposite of cyan. So the opposite of cyan, so opposite cyan, it was red. So and the green, so opposite magenta is green. So let's mess around with it. I've changed it to the green channel. Now basically what that means is if I move the slider to here to magenta, now keep your eyes onto the green grass and bushes here. Now if I turn the slider here, can you see how those greens are being affected? Now if I go to this side, you see how it brings the magentas out. So as we said, opposite magentas is green. So we're going to make the greens pop here. So do you understand the logic of where I'm actually going with this? Now, the opposite of blacks is whites. Now, the black and white, that's basically the overall image. Now you look in the background here, you can see the greens are still being affected. That's because we've got the green channel still valid here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go on to, let's just go on blues. Now there is no blues in this image other than his sunglasses here, but let's have a look, see what happens. So if I move the cyan to the left here and right, can you look at close at the his glasses? Can you see how the color is affecting his sunglasses there? Because those are the only ones that are blue. Now magenta, can you see the glasses are still being affected? Because overall in this image, overall the only thing that's blue is his sunglasses. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just giving you guys a rough idea. Now we do have a bit of white maybe in the water or something. So if I go like this, can you see how the color of the water is being affected? So if I move the slider, remember the opposite of yellow, what did we say it was? So let's just check that. There you can see over here. So the opposite of yellow was blue. Now I actually know this by heart without looking, but I'm just doing this just so you guys get an understanding of what I'm trying to do. So again, you can see if I move it to the right here, you see how the watercolor is being effective there. So you guys get the idea. Now to make things simple, what I'm going to do here is the only way that you can tell a proper difference in the image is if I go to neutrals. Now neutrals, this is where you'll see a lot of difference. So if I move this slightly, can you see the overall image, what's happening? So if I go to the opposite of cyan, can you see what's going on there? Opposite of cyan, which is red. Now you can see it's red there. So what we're going to do here is if I go like this, see it's giving me the cyan color, and opposite of red is the opposite of the cyan is red. Now can you see if I move this to the where it says cyan, if I move to there, it means I'm going the opposite direction, which is why the overall image is turning red, because obviously opposite of cyan is red. Can you see where I'm actually going with this, guys? So let's just give it a bit of red. Now the magenta, if I move this to the magenta side, it's giving me that kind of green look, and if I move it this side, it's giving me the red look. So let's say if I want to replace the neutrals on this side, let's say I want to give it a bit of green, look, just to give that cinematic feel. And the yellow, if I go to the opposite direction, it gives me blue, because remember, according to that chart, the opposite of yellow is blue. And the opposite, now if I go this way, it means I'm turning the whole image yellow. So you can see where I'm going with this. I'm going by the opposite way. Now let's just give this image a bit of a yellow feel there, and the black is opposite is white according to that chart. So you see where I'm going with this, guys. If I go this way, I mean, this black and white is also like an overall image, so kind of like the highlights, if you will. I'm kind of like affecting the whole overall image. So I'm going this way just to give it that punchy kind of look. Can you see? Now let's just choose another color. Let's say if I want to go with blacks. So opposite of yellow, what is opposite yellow, guys? Blue. So you guys, that's it, you're getting used to it now. So can you see if I go opposite direction, it's giving me that bit of blue there? Can you see it's giving me that color grade effect? Opposite of magenta, can you see what it's doing? It's giving me that kind of blue, the opposite blue of there. Can you see that, guys? It's giving me that punchy kind of effect there. And cyan, now if I go to the cyan, is opposite of cyan is red, remember, guys. Can you see what it's doing there? It's giving me, it's punching in a bit of red. So like I said before, guys, as long as you understand that overall chart which I showed your color grading becomes easy. Now if I let's move the blacks. Can you see opposite of blacks? What did we say it was? It was whites. Can you see? Now if I go the other way, it's giving me, we're pumping a bit of more blacks there. Let's give it a bit of cyan, a bit of red there. Can you see? Can you understand that, guys? I hope I've made it clear. If you're still confused, you can always drop your questions in the comments. But let's have a look at this again. So I'm just color grading by going by this selective color. Now to get to selective color, I don't think I've shown you properly, but it's always this one. If I hover over it, it'll say selective color. And that's how you bring it up. So you guys get the idea of how I'm trying to do this now. So there, now let's just have a look at the color before and after. So let me just get rid of this one because that's a duplicate. Now let me show you guys the difference. These sliders, the selective color sliders, they are so powerful, I cannot stress enough. You might think, oh, it only makes a bit of difference, but believe me, it is a very powerful tool. And let me show you the difference, the before and after. So here we've got before. This is what the original image looked like, and after. Can you see how powerful that is? I mean, even if you feel that that's a bit too light, you know, you can always make it more stronger. So can you see? So let's do a before and after. Can you see how powerful this is? I mean, I'm trying my best not to make it look too kind of punchy to a point where it looks fake. I'm just giving you guys an idea how powerful. So there's the before, there's the after. This is how I normally color grade. Now, there are different techniques of how to color grade, and this is only just one of them. So you can see again before and after. Look how powerful that is, guys. You know, do not underestimate how powerful the selective color is, because believe me, it can make your colors pop, as I've shown you in this image. Now, that is one way. Now, if supposing what would happen if you want to apply this color to another image? So let's just say, for example, I want to apply it to this color. It's very easy. All you need to do is drag this layer and then just go hover over the picture till it opens and just drag in there. Can you see that, guys? Now obviously the color doesn't actually suit this image, but I'm just showing you guys how easy it is, so you don't have to go through the process of you know, messing with the sliders. You just need to drag it into an image if you want to apply this effect to multiple images. So you guys get the idea. So that's one way of how I normally color grade. Now let me just get rid of this guy here. That's one way. Now let me show you the other way of how I normally color grade. Now let's say for example this image here. Now I want to bring some cinematic colors into this image. Now how do I do that? It's different to my first method that I've just shown you. So let me just show you guys how I normally do that. So the first things first here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the gradient map. So you see this guy here, click there, and then what you do is gradient map. There we go. Now here's the gradient map. Now what I do is I normally click the gradient map, and then basically we've got different options here. So if you want the image to maybe sort of like look from black to white, now if I just sort of like go like this, foreground to, can you see if I hover over it, it says foreground to background, foreground to transparent, black to white. Now you get these different options here. So I'm going to click on OK. Or actually before I click on OK, I'm going to click this. So can you see this middle point here? That's just basically showing where the mixed color actually stops. So you can you got the power to move this back and forth. So you click on OK. Then I normally turn this slider to hard light. And then what I'll do is I can sort of like mess with the capacity here. So can you see it's gone? If I mess with the capacity here, now let me bring a before and after. That was before and after. Now it does actually work, but not quite. I can bring the capacity sort of like maybe a bit more down. So there's before, after, still not much difference. Again, it's a case of messing around. But let me just get rid of this guy and show you the proper way, depending on the image. Now in this scenario, I'm going to make it proper. So I'm just going to go on gradient map again. So there you go. Now if I click on here, then click on this guy here. Now in all fairness, I actually like the for that particular image, I'm just going to go with a full on blue color here and put the middle point anywhere. It doesn't really matter because it's a full color blue. And then all I'm going to basically do is click on OK. And then I'm going to go on here, back to the, sorry, not on there. Sorry, I'm going to go on here. Then I'm going to just choose one from here. I tend to use the hard light because that gives a very good effect. And again, I'm going to bring the opacity down to, let's say, about there. Can you see how it's giving me that blue kind of cinematic, punchy kind of look? Let's have a look at before and after. There you go. Before, after. Can you see it's giving me that cinematic kind of feel? Now, that's basically how I normally color grade it. Again, what happens if you want to drag this preset into other images? Again, it's exactly the same thing. So let's say if I want to bring it to this image, all I do is drag this there. And boom, there you go. Look how cinematic that is. Again, before, after, before, after. Do you see that, guys? That's like a saved preset, so I can use it anytime. Again, let me just drag it into this image here. So I'm going to drag this guy. And boom, there you go. Again, see how cinematic that is, guys. It's not rocket science. That's how it is. I'm actually happy with that preset. You can see how it makes it gives that blue kind of like cinematic. It makes it gives kind of like how can I, like a Batman kind of look. If you've seen the Batman, kind of that kind of look. So again, this is if I want to drag it into here, again, I'm not sure if it's going to suit this image, but let's have a look. There. I mean, it's okay, not too bad. But technically speaking, I would do a lot of work with this one. But it's just to give you guys an idea before, after. So that's how I normally color grade, guys. And that's basically, actually, I think it'll look good with this one. So let me just drag that, my Captain America. There, again, that is absolutely superb. Do you see there, guys? Let's drag it into here. Oh, that is just super awesome. Look at that, guys. You see how it gives that punchy effect. So there you go, guys. I hope you've learned something. But before I go, let me just show you something here. Now, you know, before when I was showing you the selective color tool, when I was talking about how powerful it is. So let me just show you this image here from a scene from the Joker. Now you see over here, guys, now they've actually more or less used the same technique. So, excuse me, all they've basically done is, let me just bring the, all they've basically done is they've gone by the opposite color. So opposite magenta is green. So if we study this image right here, now technically speaking, can you see how they brought the magentas in? They've popped the greens out. Now, normally this background here, you can see it's all kind of greenish. All they've basically done is they've kind of popped the magentas out to make it green by using this chart here, which I've shown you. So opposite magenta is green. Can you see, if you follow the logic to that slider, That's all it is. You can see how they bought that moody effect, the same way that I've actually popped these colors out of these images. That's all they've basically done, guys. There, can you see that? That's similar to what they've done with the Joker image. So as I said before, as long as you understand these sliders, the slider chart, as long as you can understand that, then believe me guys, your color grading is just going to get simpler and simpler. You have to understand the logic behind it. Once you understand the logic behind it, then believe me guys, your color grading, you're just going to just snap out of it. You're going to color grade images just like that, out of the blue. But remember what I said, guys, always study this image. If anybody wants it, I don't know if I can actually put this as an attachment, but let me know if you do want it. Maybe I can possibly email you it or put it on some sort of OneDrive. But let me know guys. But I hope you've learned something from this video about how I actually color grade. Remember guys, any questions, feel free to pop your comments or questions out of the comment box below, and I hope you'll learn something. If you do like this video, please give me a thumbs up guys, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching.